I get fired up about this. We went from no human has ever flown to walking on the moon. The conspiracy is not directly related to what the medical diagnosis was. Her being an ardent feminist was kind of being played for laughs, much as him being an alpha male was being played for laughs, and they put those two characters together to create better hijinks. I am seeing these, by the way, first time, so I have no idea what they are. I have said, hey, I would like for you guys to go and subscribe to the OutKick YouTube channel and leave comments. Click like and subscribe, right? That's what I'm supposed to say. And I have the guys. I don't read any of the comments on YouTube. I'm going to be honest with you. But I have the guys go through and pick out some of your comments. So I haven't seen these at all. And frankly, I asked them to text these to me so that I could see them. I hope I'm going to be able to watch them. People say like, hey, what are you looking at? I've got my monitor over here, and I think I'll be able to see them. I hope I can. So pull these up, and I will respond. I can't read that at all. All right, so you're going to have to text me what these say, and then this is too far away. I can't possibly read. So I need to see these on my phone so that I can be able to see them. Okay, I've got them here. Clay, here's a phenomenal question for you. Is Jessie Spano from Saved by the Bell the mother of wokeness and social justice? Oh, it's funny. Back in the day, A.C. Slater, Mario Lopez, who is actually a big OutKick fan, and I think we follow each other on social media. Remember, she was kind of the woke feminist, and he was the alpha male, for those of you who watch Saved by the Bell. But I feel like her feminism was actually played for laughs, right? Her being an ardent feminist was kind of being played for laughs, much as him being an alpha male was being played for laughs, and they put those two characters together to create better hijinks. So I think the answer is no, because Jessie Spano's aggressive, woke, social justice warrior posturing, before we knew it, we used to call it politically correct, actually substantially was being played for laughs as opposed to making her a more likable character. So I'm going to disagree. I will say one of the coolest things I've gotten to do, I met Zach Morris, a.k.a. Mark Paul Gosselaar, at a Hollywood party. I think I've told this story years ago, and the theme of the party, Matt Leinart took me to the party. The theme of the party was Dead Hollywood, I think. And Mark Paul Gosselaar at this party dressed up as Bruce Jenner. And first of all, it's a really funny costume, Dead Hollywood. So he dressed up as Bruce Jenner, who at that time had changed his identity to Caitlyn Jenner. And I was so nervous to meet Mark Paul Gosselaar, and that I had Leinart introduce me, but I was like, oh my God, that's Zach Morris. I woke up every morning in like 1992 and put on Saved by the Bell. I can't believe I'm getting to meet the Zach Morris, and that he was dressed as Bruce Jenner at a Dead Hollywood party, because I hope I'm not getting him canceled now. Amazing costume. I think even Caitlyn Jenner would be like, that's a really funny costume. Okay, Clay, how about you show us how you do that pen flip twirl you often do when talking to us? Inquiring minds want to know. I don't know how I started this, and I might suddenly like drop it. When I was in school, back in probably 7th, 8th grade, and if you were in school and you were sitting in class, we didn't have Wi-Fi, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have anything to distract us, right? So you're sitting there and you're in 7th or 8th grade and you got to be there for hours and you are watching. You can see right here, I just started flipping my pencil, and I would just sit there, and I don't know, it was just something to kind of entertain me and keep me a little bit occupied. I was mentally there, but physically, you're a kid and you're sitting at your desk and you're kind of bored. And I just started, is it in the way? Can you see? I just started flipping my pen. and I've been doing it forever, and I guess I'm pretty good at it. And I don't even think about it self-consciously. I've got this pen in my hand because during the show, I think I've held this up before, but make sure there's no phone numbers or anything on here. I have basically my notes written. That's all I have for this show. And the lights kind of catch it, so it's hard to see. So I'll make sure that I'm hitting the topics by checking them off as I'm going. And so that's why I have the pen in my hand. And it's just like that is, for some reason, I've been doing this for 30 years, 40 years, whatever the math is, and I dropped it there, but I'm typically pretty good at it. So I don't know. I mean, you take it, I guess, if you want a tutorial, you take it like near the top, and I'd have worked my way through it now, and then using your middle finger, right? So you got the index finger and the thumb that are holding it. And I'm probably going to start dropping it now because I'm thinking about it more. Using your middle finger, you then start to bring it down, right? Bring it down, and you flip with the middle finger, and then you catch it with your first three fingers, right? The bottom two fingers are never used. So you have this, and you just flip it. I don't know where I got this idea. I don't know where this came from. I don't know if anybody else does it, but I guess I'm super skilled at that. I have elite hand-eye body control. I don't have to watch. So anyway, been doing it a long time. This is a good job, whoever's picking the questions out. I'm seeing these, by the way, first time, so I have no idea what they are. If the DOJ gave Dr. O'Connor immunity from criminal prosecution, wouldn't the doctor just claim he's unable to testify because of doctor-patient privilege? John in Westerville, Ohio. Give your name and your city, by the way, if you want to, in these questions. And again, I encourage all of you. I did the anonymous mailbag for a long time. I did the regular mailbag. I'm reacting in real time. It's a good question. So for those of you who missed it, Dr. O'Connor, in charge of Joe Biden's health care, he was testifying yesterday, and he took the Fifth Amendment. And so immunity here, to me, would be an interesting take because there's actually two different paths. And this is me putting on my legal hat and being a little bit of a legal nerd. He could cite HIPAA for purposes of Joe Biden's specific medical diagnosis. In other words, he could say, this is between patient and doctor. I'm not going to tell you what I directly diagnosed. The more interesting thing to me than what Dr. O'Connor diagnosed, which you rightly point out could be simply ascribed to HIPAA and therefore not able to discuss, is, was he told? Was there a conspiracy? Did any Biden advisors come up to him and say, hey, will you say he passed a cognitive test even if he didn't? Hey, doc, elbow, elbow in the ribs. Will you say that Biden's got great health no matter what the results are, because that's important here? Take it outside of the context of politics. Think about sports. This was kind of the conflict that a team doctor might have. A head coach is incentivized to have his best player on the field. And so sometimes the head coach, allegedly, would say to the team doctor, hey, that ankle's not that bad, right? Hey, if we shoot him up with Toradol, he should be able to go, right? And so there was that conflict between the team doctor's obligations to the player and the team doctor's desire to keep his job by keeping the coach, the GM, and other elements of the staff happy. And this is why players, I would say, if you have a serious health issue, I would want to get a second or third opinion, and I would want a doctor who is completely outside of the purview of the team to review my health. I think that's a hyper-logical, intelligent decision that I would encourage somebody to make if I were repping them, say, as an agent. It's a good question, but to kind of come back, there are two different pathways you could go down. The conspiracy is not directly related to what the medical diagnosis was. And whether or not they released your full medical diagnosis isn't necessarily telling you what the medical diagnosis is. So I think there are actually lots of ways where providing immunity to Dr. O'Connor or others even if there is the HIPAA-related aspect, could still allow there to be more truth shared about the Joe Biden background. Okay, what's the next question? One more. Biggest lie in human history, the moon landing. Did we land on the moon? Yes, we landed on the moon. And the progression of human history, I get fired up about this. I was just at the National Air and Space Museum with my oldest son in D.C., and they have the Wright brothers plane there. And basically, Adam, look this up, make sure I'm right. In 1903, I think we discovered flight, right? 1903. I think I'm right on that. By 1969, we were walking on the moon. So in the space of 66 years, we went from no human has ever flown to walking on the moon. I think it is one of the greatest humanity technological achievements of all time. That in the space of a little over 3 generations, you could go from being a kid, hey, nobody's ever going to fly in the air, which people have been trying to do throughout humanity, brilliant people. Leonardo da Vinci, I think it was, right, tried to design flying devices. Everybody did. Orville and Wilbur Wright do it in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. And 1903, they officially are humans can fly. 1969, 66 years, we're walking on the moon. It 100% happened. And if you had told people in 1969, hey, what will progress look like when it comes to space by 2025? They would have 100% thought that in, 55 years? That in the 55 or 56 years since then, they would have expected there to be colonies on the moon. They would have expected there to be exploration to Mars and other planets. And instead, to a large extent, now people get mad at me when I say this because they're like, well, have you thought about the International Space Station, Clay? Okay. But Elon Musk is forwarding humanity's ability to advance into space more, it feels to me like, in the last decade since he's founded SpaceX than in much of the time since from 1969 to now. In fact, now what are we talking about at NASA? What does NASA want to do? Go back to the moon. We went to the moon 56 years ago. We should be more aspirational than returning to what we did over half a century ago. I think President Trump, if he hasn't already said it, I think President Trump should say, hey, my goal is to send a spaceship to Mars with people on it by 2029. Maybe he doesn't hit it, but if you remember when JFK said in his inaugural address in 1961, I believe, hey, we're going to put a man on the moon before my term as in office are done, a lot of people said, and obviously JFK didn't live to see it because he was shot, but a lot of people said that is an outrageous, outlandish goal for JFK to put out into the larger universe. We did it 8 years later. So I think speaking a goal publicly can often make that goal come to reality. I love the questions that you guys are sending. They are grabbing questions from the YouTube comments. Let me grab this one. I'll do 2 quickly. Hoops311 says, in all fairness, if you ask Joe Biden why he selected Ketanji Brown Jackson for the Supreme Court, he would reply, who? I think that's probably true. Big news that came out on Sunday about the auto pen and the fact that they have no idea at all, by and large, it doesn't appear Biden didn't, what in the world he was signing and who was getting pardons. It's crazy. Also, from Dave Reel, Area 51, I got to say this about Jasmine Crockett. We can't be so flip to cheerlead for her to get in. It'll be an easy dunk. She may be a jello brain, but the party machine her might not be. Always play like you're behind. Go out, get every vote all day, every day. Yeah. I want Jasmine Crockett to run for the Senate in Texas. She's the best possible Democrat representative. I want her to get out. I think Texans would love to hear her arguments. She should be their nominee. She is the favorite right now. I hope she doesn't turn tail. I hope she doesn't run and hide. I hope she has the bravery to step forward and put her name in as the next representative for the Democrat Party statewide office in Texas. Run, Jasmine, run.